Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to our Tuesday night segment of Divine Femininity United. I am your girl, Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee. I am here to journey right along with you, right alongside you through this journey through the power. It is the second book on the Secret series, written by Rhonda Byrne. It's amazing. It's been amazing. It's just, oh my goodness, y'all. It's so good. If you don't have the secret book, if you don't have the power book, and if you don't have the books that we're about to go into right after the power, we're going into the third book, which is the magic. And after the magic, we're going into the fourth book, which is hero. And there's actually a fifth one after that too. But we are taking these books by sequential order and really, 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 really taking it all in, all of the wisdom that is here to take in. We are taking in, y'all, because the secret opened us up to some amazingness, right? That the amazingness that is us. And then the power is showing us how to utilize those abilities, how to become aware of those abilities, the importance of those abilities, and then how to use them for our benefit and how to tap into those things, right? And so this journey has been amazing. I'm grateful, grateful, grateful for this book, The Power, because so far we've been talking about the power of our feelings. We identify what the power is. And last week we talked about the feelings frequencies, the frequencies of your feelings. And pretty much not to dismantle them, not to dismiss them, not to overlook them, not to act like they don't matter. We all have feelings for a reason. I know it's highly said that women are the only ones, women are the emotional ones. We are the only ones that's in our feelings. That is not true. Everybody has feelings. The problem is men sometimes, unfortunately, it's not popular for men to acknowledge them, right? Because apparently that's a feminine thing. Well, it is a feminine portion of us, but if you all understand, we are both masculine and feminine. We are polarity, masculine and feminine. The feminine part of you is what allows you to feel, right? The feminine part of you is what allows you to be empathetic, to be understanding, to cry, to love, to be affectionate. That is the feminine part of you. The masculine part of you allows you to be assertive, put your foot down, to set boundaries and stick to them, to be protective of self and of others. You understand what I'm saying? To fight and to be bold and to be confident and things like that. That is the masculine part of you. It is a polarity. Those two combined reside in everyone, regardless of what your dominant gender and traits are. Okay. And so in order for you to really, really, really tap into the whole of you, you got to tap into all of your entities. You got to understand that they're there first. You have to be aware of their presence first in order for you to tap into them, right? Be aware of their presence and embrace their presence, because in all of us are all things, right? Okay. So with that being said, if we're tapping and talking about the feelings, then we, even men need to open up and understand that your feelings matter. Your feelings matter. They deserve your attention, right? They deserve your awareness. They deserve your respect. And they deserve you learning how to use them for your benefit, okay? And not how to succumb to them, all right? So that's the journey that we've been on here in the book so far, in the power. And so last week, again, we went over feeling frequencies and the points of power that we took away from that, the things that the takeaways, the nuggets that we walked away with at the end of that chapter are: everything in the universe is magnetic, and everything has a magnetic frequency, including your thoughts and feelings. Everything has a magnetic frequency. So when you are thinking certain thoughts and when you are feeling certain feelings, what you're doing is you're sending out a magnetic frequency into the universe, and it's the law of attraction is going to kick in immediately and bring those things right to you. But the thing is, this is why everybody needs to pay attention to how they are feeling and what they're thinking, which results in what you're saying and what you're doing, because it's going to bring a magnetic force to you of that very thing. And a lot of times, the feelings that we feel or the thoughts that we're thinking, we do not want in real life. Y'all know it. Y'all already know. Okay. The next thing is whatever you feel, whether good or bad, determines your frequency. And you attract the people, events, and circumstances that are on that same frequency. Okay. So however you're feeling, whatever you're feeling, you're drawing, you're a huge magnet. You're drawing those very same things to you. Okay. The next, change your frequency at any time by changing how you feel. And everything around you will change because you are on a new frequency. Okay. The next, if something negative has happened in your life, you can change it. It is never too late because you can always change the way you feel. Always. At any given moment. If you're feeling bad right now, instantaneously, you can decide to change your feeling. And then boom, boom, it's over with. Okay. You can decide right now to let go of that hurt. And it's done. You can decide right now to forgive that person. And it's done. You can decide right now to not be sad about a heartbreak. You can decide to do so. And the moment you decide to come out of that feeling, it's done. You're changing the frequencies. Okay? It is never too late because you can always change the way you feel. All right? The next point that we took away from last week's session or last session was many people put their feelings on automatic pilot. Their feelings are reactions to what happens to them. However, they don't realize that it's their feelings that are the cause of what has happened to them. Your feelings being on autopilot is kind of dangerous. It's a little reckless, okay? You need to give your feelings some instructions, right? Because your feelings will then take away. It will run away. What's the song? Just My Imagination, Running Away With Me, okay? Your feelings will take off, pew, 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 and will have you drawing all sort of things to your life that you do not want. Your feelings are the very cause of what happens to you. The next point, to change anything, whether it's the circumstances of money, health, relationships, or any subject whatsoever, you have to change the way you feel about it. All right? Change how you feel about money in order to change the circumstance of money in your life. Change how you feel about your health in order to change the circumstance of health in your life. Change how you feel about your relationships in order to change the circumstance of your relationships and any other subject. Change how you feel about those things in order to see a change in the circumstance in your life about those things. You can no longer complain and bellyache and all of this stuff about those subjects and then expect a newness to happen. It's not going to happen. You're drawing more of exactly what you're complaining about. That's why it never ends, because you never stop talking about it. You never stop feeling those feelings of negativity. All right. The next point that we took away was blame, criticism, finding fault, and complaining are all forms of negativity. And you may be talking facts, right? But blame, criticism, finding fault, and complaining are all forms of negativity. And all of them bring back nothing but strife. Bring back nothing but strife. One thing about you all know I'm very prevalent in astrology and things like that, and signs and strengths and weaknesses and planetary placements and all of those things, right? So these traits here are definitely, of course, we all possess the ability to blame, criticize, find fault, and complain. But these traits are native to the nature of Virgos specifically. All right. Virgos do a lot of criticizing. Virgos do a lot of judging because in their minds, they feel like they're the better ones. They can do it better. They feel like, somebody else they're doing it. They're not doing it the right way. They have the best answers and the best process and the best skills and the best, scheduling and the best this and then the third. So they because they consider themselves perfect, outwardly, they feel like they do things perfectly. It causes them to criticize and find fault in others and complain about how others are doing things. Okay. So yeah, it's a lot of that happening in the Virgos or whatever. I know we just came from the Virgo season, and so they was living their best life, right? Of course, we're in the Libra season right now, gang. And and sometimes, we have to come through and bring that balance back, right? So if you are dominant in Virgo and these are your traits and you find yourself doing these things, change it. Okay, when you find yourself judging and criticizing others, immediately change it, because when you do that, then you're bringing that very stuff to your own life as you're becoming a magnet to the frequency. All right, next thing, throw out of your vocabulary words like terrible, horrible, disgusting, awful. Throw those words out. Use more words like fantastic, amazing, awesome, fabulous, brilliant, wonderful, great. All of those. You change the words that you use, because words have frequencies. And in everything, keep in mind, everything, even in the universe, there are no words written on the skies. There's no words written in the clouds. There are no words written among the stars. Only frequencies, vibrations, frequencies. So when we are speaking and when we think things and when we feel things, it's emitting frequencies and vibrations from us to other vibrations and frequencies, and it's causing that very thing to mirror itself and reflect itself back to us. Okay. The next point that we took away on the last session was, even if you just give 51% of good thoughts, you don't even have to be the full 100%, although your aim should be to be 100% positive. Okay, your aim should be, on the more love and light than on the negative dark side. Okay, but even if you give 51% of good thoughts and good feelings, you have already tipped the scales in your favor already. Okay. And the last point, every day is an opportunity for a new life. Every day you stand at the tipping point of your life. And on any one day, you can change the future through the way that you feel. Okay? That's good. That's good. That's good. That is the that was the takeaways that we took away from the last session, which was 2 days ago on Sunday. As we read through the Feelings Frequency Chapter 3. Okay, now you all, we're about to begin Chapter 4. Okay, Chapter 4 of the Power, entitled The Power and Creation. The Power and Creation. Okay, I love how in every one of her books so far, that I've read, 2 of her books that I've read so far, I love how she quotes many other theologians and Stoics and philosophers and other teachers and things. This is not just her word, right, that we're taking away. No. She studied. She did her research, and she brought in other authors, other people, other teachers, other masters of these subjects, whether they're in our lifetime or in ages before us. She brings them in, and she compares their thoughts and what they've been saying and stuff like that. She brings it all together and makes a full, concise paint a picture for us to walk away with clarity and understanding. And I thank her for this. This is amazing. Okay. Now, starting off this particular chapter, she has a quote by Shakti Gawain. It's an author who stated, "Every moment of your life is infinitely creative, and the universe is endlessly bountiful. Just put forth a clear enough request, and everything your heart desires must come to you. Let me say that again, because these are definitive words that were used. Pay attention to the verbiage that's used. Every moment. Every means that there is nothing left outside of that. Every moment of your life is infinitely creative. Infinitely, meaning there is no limit. Infinitely creative. And the universe is endlessly, listen to that word, endlessly, never ending, bountiful. So there's never an end to the bounty that you can receive. All right. There's never an end to the creativity that you can possess. Right. And in every moment you can receive it at any moment. Okay. Just put forth a clear enough request. Know what you want and know how to convey it. And everything your heart desires must, not can, not would, not should, not might, not hope, wish, not pray that it comes. No, everything your heart desires must come to you. It is a law. It's a law. The law has to be completed. It has to obey itself. It's a law. All right. In these next chapters, you will learn how easy it is to harness the force of love for money, health, career, business, and relationship. Of course, we identified in earlier chapters that the power that she speaks of in this book is the power of love. The power of love. With this knowledge, you will be able to change your life into whatever you want. To bring a specific desire to you, follow the simple steps of the creation process. Whether it's bringing something you want or changing something you don't want, the process is always the same. Here's the creation process. Imagine it, feel it, receive it. Imagine it, feel it, receive it. All right. Number one, imagine. Use your mind to focus on and imagine what you desire. Imagine yourself being with that desire. Imagine yourself doing things with your desire. Imagine yourself having your desire. Imagine. Number two, feel. At the same time as you imagine, you must feel love for what you're imagining. You must imagine and feel being with your desire. You must imagine and feel doing things with your desire. You must imagine and feel having your desire. Your imagination connects you to what you want. Your desire and feelings of love create the magnetism, the magnetic power, drawing your desire to you. This completes your process, your part. This is your part. This completes your part of the process in this creative process, okay? The next and the last part of this creation process is to receive. The force of love will work through the visible and invisible forces of nature to bring what you desire to you. It will use circumstances, events, and people to give what you love to you. Whatever you desire, you must want it with all of your heart. Desire is love. And unless you have a burning desire in your heart, you will not have enough power to harness that force of love. You must really desire what you want. As an athlete desires to play a sport, a dancer desires to dance, and a painter desires to paint. You must desire what you want with all your heart, because desire is a feeling of love. And you must give love to receive what you love. That's good. Whatever you want to be in your life, whatever you want to do in your life, whatever you want to have in your life, the creation process is the same. Give love to receive love. Imagine it, feel it, receive it. When you use the creation process, imagine and feel that you have what you want already and never deviate from that state of being. Why? Because the law of attraction copies whatever you give. And so you must imagine and feel having it now. Okay? The law of attraction copies what you give. It copies what you're feeling. It copies what you're thinking. It copies what you're saying. So you must imagine and feel having what you desire right now. If you want to lose weight, then give love by imagining and feeling yourself with the body you love, instead of imagining and feeling that you're overweight every single day. If you want to travel, then give love by imagining and feeling yourself traveling, instead of imagining every day that you don't have the money to travel. If you want to improve yourself in a sport, acting, singing, playing a musical instrument, hobby, or even in your job, then give love for what you want to be by imagining and feeling whatever it is you would love to be. If you want a better marriage or a better relationship with anybody, then give love by imagining and feeling what you would be, what it would be like to have that particular relationship. St. Augustine of Hippo stated, faith is to believe that which you do not yet see. And the reward of this faith is to see that which you believe. Okay. Now, St. Augustine wrote this and quoted this. He was born in year 354. He died in year 430. He was a theologian and a bishop. Okay. And this very quote became a scripture in the Bible. Okay. You all, the Bible is literally a book of a compilation of a lot of people's readings. But again, when translated by certain people, they put their own name on it and switch the context. Honey, trust me, you need to go to the books before the Bible, and you'll find the actual context, the actual words, and even the actual authors of a thing. Okay. Again, St. Augustine stated, faith is to believe that which you do not yet see. And the reward of this faith is to see that which you believe. Okay. When you begin working with the creation process, you might want to start by attracting something unusual. When you specifically attract something unusual, you will be left in no doubt about your power when you receive it. One young woman began by choosing to attract a specific flower, a white calla lily. She imagined holding the flower in her hand, smelling the flower, and she felt having that calla lily. 2 weeks later, she went to a friend's house for dinner, and there in the centerpiece of the table was a bouquet of white calla lilies, the very flower and color she had imagined. She was excited to see the lilies, but she didn't say anything to her friend about her imagined flower. As she was walking out the door at the end of the evening, her friend's daughter spontaneously plucked one white calla lily from the vase and put it in her hand. That's awesome. The next quote from George Bernard Shaw states, imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire. You will what you imagine. And at last you create what you will. That's good. Imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire. You will what you imagine. And at last you create what you will. Give it, receive it. The next section. Remember that the law of attraction says whatever you give, you receive. If you think of the law of attraction as a mirror, an echo, a boomerang, or a copying machine, it will help make you clearer on what to imagine and feel. The law of attraction is like a mirror because a mirror reflects back exactly what is in front of it. The law of attraction is like an echo because whatever you give out is exactly the echo that comes back. The law of attraction is like a boomerang because whatever boomerang you throw is the exact same boomerang that comes back to you. The law of attraction is like a copying machine because whatever you give is reproduced exactly, and you will receive back an exact copy. A few years ago, I was in Paris for my work, and I was walking down the street when a woman rushed past me wearing one of the most beautiful skirts I had seen, intricately detailed in a Parisian style. My reaction was love. What a beautiful skirt. A few weeks later, I was happily driving to work in Melbourne, Australia, when I was forced to stop because another driver was trying to do an illegal U-turn at an intersection. As I looked at a store window where I had been forced to stop, I saw the exact same skirt I had seen on the woman in the streets of Paris. I could not believe my eyes. When I got to work, I called the store and they told me they had received only one skirt from Europe in that style, and it was the skirt in the window. Of course, the skirt was my size. When I went to the store to purchase the skirt, it was reduced to half price, and the store attendant told me they had not ordered the skirt and that it had just appeared in their order accidentally. That is so awesome. The only thing I had done to bring that skirt to me was to love it. And from Paris to a suburban street in Australia, through circumstances and events, the same exact skirt was delivered to me. That is the magnetic power of love. That is love's law of attraction in operation. That's good. The next, imagination. A quote by Henry David Thoreau states, "This world is but a canvas to our imaginations." It is. When you imagine anything positive that you want and love, you are harnessing the force of love. When you imagine something positive, something good, and you feel love for it, that is what you are giving, and that is what you will receive. If you can imagine it and feel it, then you can receive it. But what you're imagining must come from love. Whatever you're imagining must not harm another person. Imagining something that brings harm to another person comes not from love, but from a lack of love. And with certainty, any negativity, even imagined, will turn back with an equal ferocity on the person who sent it. Whatever you give, you receive back. Now, I'm going to interject there and I'm going to talk about even in mysticism. Okay? Even in mysticism, which I'm prevalent in. It is very, listen, they call it left hand work. Okay? And some other, I guess, understandings, they call it black magic, whatever the case. You have to be very, 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 very careful in the work that you do in mysticism, all right? Because the law of attraction is and will always be at work, okay? Be mindful that what you're giving out has an ability to come back to you, okay? Be mindful that when you throw in slurs and curses and, you know, all kind of stuff on people, understand that very same thing can come back on you. All right. I don't even deal with left hand stuff. Nope. I have the ability to, but I don't, because of that very thing right there. I simply, if I have to do all of that left hand, this and then the third, I just simply cut the person off. Okay. I just walk away from you. There ain't no sense in doing all that. For what? I just walk away. If I'm compelled to do all of this revenge work on someone because of something that they did, guess what? I'm something is wrong. I need healing in some form or fashion. Because why am I so adamant about revenge when I can simply walk away? That person showed you who they were. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. What's the point of getting back? Your get back is walking away. Your get back is disconnecting, right? That's your get back. But some people don't really have this understanding yet. And if you're going to do any type of mysticism work, do it for your own benefit. Do it for the benefit of the people that you know and love. Do it for open doors, open roads, open opportunities, all of that. Do it for that. Don't do it for nothing else. It's a waste of energy, waste of resources, all of that. Don't do that. And then you open yourself up to greater things, darker things. And you don't want that to happen, because it is, trust and believe, once you open that dark door up, there are attachments connected to the work that you're doing. And if you don't know how to protect yourself, then you're in for a ride. Know that, okay? Alrighty. I felt I needed to jump in there because I do a lot of teaching in mysticism and things like that as well. Spirituality, I teach completely and utterly utter spirituality from beginning to end in different practices, different understandings, because it all matters. It's all important. All right. And it's all real. All right. All right. Here we go. Moving forward. But I want to tell you something fantastic about the force of love in your imagination. The highest and best thing you think is possible is nothing compared to what the force of love can give to you. Love has no limits. If you want to be full of vitality and happiness with an incredible zest for life, the force of love can give you health and happiness at levels far beyond what you have seen. I'm telling you this so that you can start to break the boundaries of your imagination and stop putting limits on your life. Push your imagination to the limits and imagine the best and highest that you possibly can of whatever it is that you want. The difference between someone who is struggling and someone who has a fabulous life comes down to one thing: love. Those who have a great life imagine what they love and want, and they feel the love of what they're imagining more than other people. People who are struggling are unintentionally using their imagination for what they don't love and don't want, and are feeling the negativity of what they're imagining. It's such a simple thing, but it creates vast differences in people's lives. And you can see the difference everywhere you look. You absolutely can. Okay, New Thought author Christian D. Larson stated, "The secret of the mastermind is found wholly in the use of imagination." History has proven that those who dare to imagine the impossible are the ones who break all human limitations. In every field of human endeavor, whether science, medicine, sports, the arts, or technology, the names of the people who imagine the impossible are engraved in our history. By breaking the limits of their imagination, they changed the world. Your entire life is what you have imagined it to be. Everything you have or don't have, every situation and circumstance of your life is what you have imagined it to be. The problem is that many people imagine the worst. They're turning the most wonderful tool against themselves. Instead of imagining the best, many people are in fear and imagine all the things that can go wrong. And as surely as they keep imagining and feeling those things happen. Whatever you give, you receive. Feel and imagine the best and the highest you can in every area of your life, because the best you can imagine is a piece of cake for the force of love. When my family had settled in the United States, we flew our 15-year-old dog, Cabby, to be with us. One night, not long after Cabby had arrived, he managed to get out of a small gate in the fence. Our home backs onto mountains, so it was far from an ideal situation. In the dark, we searched the streets and the trails leading up to the mountains, but our dog was nowhere to be found. As my daughter and I were searching, negative feelings of anguish began to increase. I knew we had to stop searching and change the way we were feeling inside immediately. The negative feelings were telling us that we were imagining the worst, and we had to change the way we were feeling quickly and imagine the best. At that point, every possible outcome could still happen, and we had to choose the outcome of having Cabby safely home with us by imagining and feeling that he was home. We returned home, and we pretended our dog was with us. We put food in his bowl as though he were there. We imagined hearing the bell around Cabby's neck as he walked down our hallway. We talked to him and called out his name as though he were there. My daughter went to bed imagining that her best friend of 15 years was sleeping next to her bed, as he always did. Early the next morning, we discovered a notice on a tree at the foot of the mountains saying that someone had found a little dog. It was Cabby. Just as we had imagined, our dog returned home safely to us. No matter what challenging situation you may find yourself in, imagine the best outcome and feel it. When you do, you will change the circumstances and you will change the situation into what you want. Whatever you can imagine exists. The next section. Ancient Hindu text Shrimad Bhagavatam in 9th century states, creation is only the projection into form of what which already exists. That's good. Creation is only the projection into form of what already exists. Whatever desire you can imagine already exists. It doesn't matter what it is. If you can imagine it, it already exists in creation. That's absolutely right. I say it all the time. If you saw it in your mental already, it's already done. If you see yourself doing it, if you think the thought of you doing something, you've already done it. It's already done. You now just need to bring it into your fruition. But the job is already over. You know, the hard part is done. 5,000 years ago, ancient scriptures recorded that all of creation was done and complete, and that anything that could possibly be created already exists. Now, 5,000 years later, quantum physics has confirmed that every single possibility of anything and everything actually exists now. Genesis 2:1 reads, "The creation of heavens and the earth and everything in them was complete." The creation of heaven and the earth and everything in them was complete. In Genesis, in the beginning, it was already complete. That's good, man. Ooh, if y'all not getting this, that is good. What that means for you and your life is that whatever you can imagine for yourself in your life already exists. It's impossible for you to imagine anything that doesn't exist. Creation is complete. I literally just said to my parents this morning, I said, even though we pray for certain things, I said, there is nothing else that the infinite, intelligent, almighty God has left to do. It's already done. It's already been done. That's it. So to ask for it, you know what I'm saying? And to pray and to hope and wish and beg for it, for what is already done. There's nothing else left to do. Every single possibility exists. So when you imagine breaking a world record or traveling to the Far East or being full of health or being a parent, those possibilities of you doing those things exist in creation right now. If they didn't exist already, you would not be able to imagine them. To bring the things you desire and love from the invisible into the visible life, all you have to do is give love for what you want through your imagination and feelings. Imagine your life the way you want it to be. Imagine everything you want. Take your imagination with you every day. Y'all, hold on. Oh my goodness, I feel this in my body, man. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, there is a surge, y'all. Y'all don't even understand. This thing is alive in me right now. There was a surge that just jumped from my belly up to my heart space, back down in my belly, and is pulsating in my heart space in my physical body right now. I kid you not. The more I read this, the more I'm feeling it for myself. And this thing is real to me, y'all. Oh my God. Listen, if y'all don't get it, I'm telling you, I'm gonna get mine. I don't know about what y'all. I don't know about what y'all gonna do, but me, ooh, man, boy, y'all, this thing is serious. Man, I love this. Oh, I love this. Okay, let me try to calm down, okay? Because boy, those currents are flowing through me. I swear, I almost want to get up and run around here. Seriously. Because I see stuff, you know what I'm saying? I see things, and as I'm imagining, as I'm saying, as I'm reading this book, I'm just seeing myself, and I'm seeing my things, and I'm seeing myself in my things, and seeing myself in my places, and my positions, and doing what it is that I'm. Oh my God, y'all! Ooh, that thing feel good. Okay. Here we go. Let me calm down. All right. Imagine your life the way you want it to be. Imagine everything you want. Take your imagination with you every day, and imagine what it would be like if your relationships were all wonderful. Imagine how you would feel if your job suddenly took off. Imagine how your life would be if you had the money you need to do what you love. Imagine how you would feel if you were overflowing with health. Imagine how you would feel if you could do what you wanted to do. Use all of your senses to imagine what you want. If you want to travel to Italy, imagine the smell of olive oil, taste the pasta, hear Italian words being spoken to you, touch the stone of the Colosseum, and feel being in Italy. Y'all, I'm trying to read and my eyes are welling up. I kid you not. I'm trying to push through, but this thing is boy. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying, y'all. I'm pushing through, but boy, this thing is, whew, my God. In conversations and in your thoughts, say, imagine if, and then fill in the rest of the sentence with what you want. If you're talking to a friend and they're complaining because their work colleague got a promotion and they didn't, help them by saying, imagine if the reason you didn't get that promotion is that you were being promoted to an even bigger role with way more money. Ooh, I told you all, this is my interjection. I told you all a story on this past Sunday about a person who contacted me. He's my landscaper. So he contacted me and said that he was doing a business. He was doing cutting a yard for one of his other people. He has a business where he cuts veterans and disabled people's grass for free. Okay. And everybody else he does for $25. That's it. That's all. And the reason that he does that is because he has, number one, he has 30 years in the military himself. So he has a connection to that thing. Right. And so plus he has a heart to give. So he was in the backyard of someone's, one of the veterans' yards, cutting their grass. And in the front yard, somebody was stealing all of his equipment off his truck. Right. So he contacted me and said, this was on when was this? On a Saturday, might have been a Sunday or a Monday, something like that. Okay. So he contacted me and said, you'll never believe somebody stole all of my stuff off my truck. Man, they stole my equipment and da 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 da. I told him, I acknowledged the thing that happened and him being upset about it. I said, man, that's terrible. And then I said, well, check this out. I said, let's alchemize the situation, shall we? Immediately. I didn't even allow my own feelings to get involved because my emotions don't help that situation, right? So what I said, I immediately came in with, because I know he was frustrated and devastated about the whole thing. Let me quickly alter your thinking real quick. I said, what if? I said, let's look at it like this. What if? So this, imagine if. I said, what if this is the universe's way of clearing out your old equipment, making way for new equipment, because a flood of customers are about to come your way and your old equipment would not be adequate enough to handle the load that was coming to you. He said, you know what? I never even thought about it like that. I said, there you go. Don't y'all know? As sure as my name is what it is. He hit me up the next day and said, Ms. B, first of all, thank you. He said, secondly, why is every one of my customers that I do pro bono, why are they cutting me checks and giving me money and cash apps and Zales enough to replace every single piece of equipment brand new that was just stolen? Not only that, they identified the thief and was able to file a report against the thief and all of this, that, and the third. This man got all brand new equipment right now, 24 hours later, all because we were able to switch his thinking from the victimhood to this being a setup by the universe for greater to come. Imagine if, right? So even you doing this for yourself, imagine if you do it for yourself, absolutely. But your imagine if and your power, your belief, your energy can also help someone else. So when they come to you complaining about something, alchemize it, change it, and say, imagine if. Let's look at it from a different perspective. Imagine if, right? So she said here, imagine if the reason you didn't get that promotion is that you were being promoted to an even bigger role with way more money. Because the truth is that The possibility of your friend being promoted to an even bigger role with way more money already exists. And if they can imagine and feel it, they can receive it, right? Werner Heisenberg, who's a Nobel Prize winning quantum physicist, stated, atoms or elementary particles themselves are not real. They form a world of potentialities or possibilities rather than one of things or facts. Use your imagination and create games so that you feel real good. Whatever you can imagine is waiting for you, fully created in the invisible. And the way to make it visible is to harness the force of love by imagining and feeling what you love. After graduating from college, a young woman struggled for months and months trying to get a job. Her biggest obstacle was imagining having a job when she didn't have one. She wrote in her journal every day that she was grateful for the job that was coming to her, but still no job. Then she had a sudden realization. Her desperate actions of applying for one job after another were saying loud and clear to the law of attraction that she didn't have a job. So here is what the young woman did that changed everything. She decided to use her imagination and live as though she already had a job. She set her alarm early as if she were going to work. Instead of writing in her journal that she was grateful for the job she had coming, she wrote how grateful she was for her success in her job and for the people she worked with. She planned the clothes that she would wear to work each day. She set up a savings account for her paychecks. Within 2 weeks, she felt as though she really had a job. Then out of the blue, a friend told her about a position that had become available. She went for an interview, got the job, and received everything she had written about in her journal. Okay. Next section, prop yourself up. Prop yourself up. All right. New Thought author Christian D. Larson stated, whenever you permit yourself to think what persons, things, conditions, or circumstances may suggest, you are not following what you want to think. You are not following your own desires, but borrowed desires. Use your imagination in determining what you want to think or do. This is why I limit any kind of negative conversation. I limit conversations, period, because other people's mindset can really transfer to yours. And before you know it, you're starting to think and speak the same way that they're thinking and speaking, and you're trying to figure out why your life is in shambles because you've adopted somebody else's mindset instead of maintaining your own. All right. When using the creation process, use all the props you can to generate the feelings that you have what you want already. Surround yourself with items of clothing, pictures, photographs, and relevant objects so you can imagine and feel the feelings of having what you want. If you want new clothes, make sure you have space in your wardrobe with empty clothes hangers ready for your new clothes. If you want to bring more money into your life, does your wallet have space for money, or is it full of irrelevant bits and paper? If you want the perfect partner, you must imagine and feel that the partner is with you now. Are you sleeping in the middle of your bed, or are you sleeping on one side because your partner is on the other side of your bed? If your partner were with you now, you would be using only half of the bed in your half of the space in your wardrobe because your partner's clothes would be in the other half of the wardrobe. Do you set your table for 2 people or 1 person? Just putting out an extra place is something you can easily do. Do your best not to contradict your desires in your day-to-day actions, and instead use the world of props that surround you to feel as though you already have what you want. These are simple little things you can do with props and your imagination, but they are incredibly powerful. One woman used props and her imagination to receive a horse. She had wanted a horse all her life, but she could not afford to buy one. She wanted a chestnut Morgan gelding, and a Morgan would cost thousands and thousands of dollars. So she imagined seeing the exact horse she wanted each time she looked outside her kitchen window. She put a picture of a chestnut Morgan horse on the screen of her laptop computer. Whenever she had the opportunity, she doodled drawings of the horse. She began looking at horses for sale, even though she couldn't afford them. She took her children to a store, and together they tried on riding boots. She looked at saddles. She bought the only thing she could afford, a horse blanket, lead, and horse brushes. And she kept them on display so she could see them every day. Sometime later, the woman went to a horse expo in her town. A raffle was being held at the expo, and the first prize was a chestnut Morgan gelding, the exact same horse she had been imagining. And of course, she won the raffle and received her horse. Your senses are props too. I'm going to say that again. Your senses are props too. So use all your senses to help you feel that you have what you want. Feel the touch of what you want with your skin. Taste it, smell it, see it, and hear it. One man worked with all his senses to bring himself multiple job options. He had applied for 75 positions over 3 years and had not received a single job offer. But then he used his imagination and all his senses to imagine he had his dream job. He imagined every detail in his new office. He touched the keys of his keyboard in his imagination. He smelled the lemon scent of the furniture polish on his new huge mahogany desk. He imagined his work colleagues. He gave them names. He had conversations with them. He had meetings with them, and even tasted the tacos at lunch breaks. 7 weeks later, he began receiving requests for interviews, then requests for second interviews poured in. Then he received not only one fantastic job offer, but two. He accepted the job he loved the most. It was his dream job. Know that when you have completed your part in the creation process, creation is done. You are no longer in the old world where you didn't have what you wanted. You have moved into a new world that contains the very thing you want, even if you can't see it yet. Know that you will receive it. Okay? That is good, y'all. Okay, the points of power from this chapter are to harness the forces of love in your life to bring something you want or change something you don't want. The creation process is always the same. Imagine it, feel it, receive it. Next point, your imagination connects you to what you want. Your desire and feelings of love create the magnetism, the magnetic power, drawing your desire to you. The next point, imagine yourself being with your desire. At the same time, feel love for what you're imagining. The next point, desire what you want with all of your heart, because desire is a feeling of love, and you must give love to receive what you love. The next, when you imagine anything positive that you want and love, you are harnessing the force of love. Push your imagination to the limits and imagine the best and highest that you possibly can of whatever it is that you want. The next point, whatever desire you can imagine already exists. It doesn't matter what it is. If you can imagine it, it already exists in creation. The next point, in conversations and in your thoughts, say, imagine if, and then complete the sentence with what you want. The next point, use props. Surround yourself with items of clothing, pictures, and photographs, and relevant objects so you can imagine and feel the feelings of having what you want. Oh, I want to tell y'all something so bad, but I think it's premature. I don't want to mess it up. But yeah, let's just say this very thing, the props, using the props, I'm definitely already on. I'm on that, okay? And you, when the fruition comes, you all will be the first to know, I promise you, okay? Maybe the second to know. I got to tell my people around me first, the team around me first, and then you all, okay? The next point, your senses are props too. Use all your senses to help you feel that you have already what you want. Feel it, taste it, smell it, and see it, and hear it. And the last point, when you have completed your part in the creation process, you have moved into a new world that contains the very thing you want, even if you can't see it yet. Know you will receive it. Man, listen, y'all. Ooh, that thing was good. Y'all, I'm gonna play that back immediately after we finish. I promise you. Because man, oh man, oh man. This thing has reigned so real for me since the beginning of the reading, which is The Secret. This thing, Man, listen, if y'all don't have the book, get the book. Y'all already know I repeat it every single week. Okay. So to receive your book of the reading material, inbox me, back channel me, email me, for the request. Okay. If you're going to email me at info@BiancaMissBeLee.com. Okay, visit my website, send a message, even go to my courses, go to my services, and you can book sessions and therapy sessions, reading sessions, and all of those things, natal session, birth natal chart sessions, all of that stuff. You can do all of that right there on my website, and that's at it's actually above my head on Clubhouse, and it's on the screen on Facebook and YouTube. Okay, follow me on Instagram, Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee. Follow me on Facebook, same, Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee. YouTube, the same, Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee. Okay, Twitter, if you want to. I'm hardly over there anymore. It's way too chaotic on Twitter right now. Elon, he on his foodie wang stuff, y'all. So I'm just, if you want to follow over there, I put stuff over there periodically, but not much. I'm more active on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and Clubhouse, those other ones, and even LinkedIn. I'm active there. I am active on Alignable. I'm active on Nextdoor. Nextdoor is an app where only the neighborhood and the radius here in my area, they are privy to the stuff or whatever the case. But yeah, follow. If you want to know any information about anything that I'm doing, like if you want to stay up to speed, Instagram, Facebook would be the way to go. Okay, so follow me there. All right. If you go to my website, I was going to go into some other things and other announcements or whatever. If you go to my website, everything will be there. Everything will be there in the tabs above or even on the homepage. You'll be able to see exactly what's going on right now, things that you can contribute to, things that you can be a part of, all of that stuff. Go there. Okay, you all listen. This is I'm excited. I can't even. My mind is still on what we just finished reading. It's still on what we finished reading, so I'm pretty much piped up right now, you all. Okay, I'm excited. I'm a little giddy on the inside right now, and I want to stay here because this is a great feeling. Okay, man, this is good, and it's on time because tomorrow, my brother and I are going to be going to do some things to continue this prop situation. You know what I mean? To use the props, prop yourself up. Okay. For what it is that's already completed, right? And so right now we're in the process of bringing design to the very thing that's already completed, and we're waiting on it to come to fruition, but we're designing it right now. Okay, so yeah, man, this thing is serious. So believe these words. The creative process is imagine it, feel it, receive it. Imagine it, feel it, receive it. Imagine it, feel it, receive it. Okay. On Sunday, you all, we're back here, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the next chapter 5, is Feeling is Creation. Feeling is Creation. Okay. We're going to be talking about that chapter. I'm excited about it. I'm so eager to get there, but I'm going to sit in the right here, right now for a moment, if you don't mind. And I am welcoming you all to do the very same. You all, we will see you back here on Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here at Divine Femininity United. I am your girl, Dr. Bianca Miss B. Lee, and I love you. I mean it. There's absolutely positively nothing, and I mean nothing that you can do about it. Don't you even try it, okay? We'll see you back here on Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace.